Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are we keeping this evening? I hope we're all well. Everything's kind of different for some reason. In this, the whole YouTube layout has changed. For some reason, I think everything's still fine. Hopefully, I haven't messed with my settings. It doesn't look to be anyway. Hopefully not. I don't know why. Excuse me. Apologies. Because usually over here was where it showed you how long you were live, and the end of the stream was at the bottom. So I don't know why it changed. What is this? What is that? Sorry. Interesting. Okay. Um, okay, so it's a whole new YouTube layout, pretty much. Okay. Um, okay, that is actually something. It's actually a whole new YouTube layout. Like, wow. Like the whole lot of it's changed. The whole system has changed. So hopefully under my settings, you can still hear me. Hopefully and see me okay, because I might have messed around with some of my settings. Hello, Ben. Of course, that's the main thing we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of thoughts, obviously. Like first of all, I think we all knew. I said it last week. That it was inevitable. Pretty much. I didn't know when it would happen, but I knew it would happen at some point. So it's not a surprise. I knew they were going to do it at some point because they didn't bring all the, maybe over 100 planes and stuff like that in the Middle East, fighter jets, other aircraft, and not to mention probably about maybe close to maybe 50 warships, etc., aircraft carriers and stuff. They didn't put them there for no reason. But I knew it would happen at some stage. I just didn't know when it would happen. But yeah, hello, Fiona. Good evening. How are we doing? Happy Saturday. I hope we're well. But yeah, so I knew it would happen at some stage, so I'm not surprised by it. I knew it was going to happen. If it was only a matter of time, it wasn't when. It was only, but it wasn't. It wasn't if, it was when it was going to happen, pretty much. So, but it's hard to know if it's going to be sustained, if that makes sense. That's what I mean by that. It's not like not in Venezuela, like it's only 2 hours. I presume that Iran will go. It's going to be back and forth for a good while. I don't know about the ground invasion, but we'll see what happens. But the big surprise to me was that they hit other countries, Iran. They retaliated and hit the United Arab Emirates, Oman, etc. Like they hit other countries in the Middle East too, Iran, when they kind of counterattacked, I suppose the word to say. Um, so that's obviously something that you've probably never seen before. But the war targeted American bases in them countries, but it has hit some places in the United Arab Emirates and Dubai. They could hit a hotel to WhatsApp too in Dubai. So it's hard to know because it's pulling other countries into it too, like countries that wouldn't have been involved with it now are involved. So it's a very scary situation. It could escalate. I suppose we don't know what can happen. But most likely, like as Donald Trump pretty much said, I'm sure people have seen his clip that he was talking about. Pretty much he stated it that it's regime change that they want to get rid of the Iranian regime. So it's very clear, like that's their aim. It's not to do with anything else. It's pretty much that. Because less than a few months ago, they literally said, "Oh, Iran's nuclear weapons, etc., were obliterated. They didn't have any. That got sent back to the Stone Age." So clearly, that wasn't the case. But I don't know what Donald Trump just overestimated. No, what was the story? But we have to wait and see, I suppose. But I think it's going to go on for a while because let's be fair. Because that's literally what Donald Trump said, that they want to regime change. And I don't know how he's going to do it because unless you put boots on the ground, you're not really going to achieve it from the air. But yeah, that's basically my whole thoughts on it. Of course, it's as we speak now, there's stuff happening. But unfortunately, probably a lot of innocent people are going to get killed. Unfortunately, that's the only thing I would say. Because as I said, the missiles, cruise missiles, and missiles, etc. One of them hit the foot of a hotel in Dubai. That could have killed innocent people. Just going about their business. Regime change. Yeah, but see, if they go on the ground, I don't know what they're willing to do, I suppose. It all depends, because going by Donald Trump to what total regime change is not just good enough to obliterate the nuclear arsenal or whatever they have weapons. They want total regime change. And only for that, the only way you're going to do that is on the ground, unless the Iranian people do it for you. So they have to put, if they want total regime change, like they want to replace their Ayatollah, they have to go boots on the ground. And that's obviously going to be costly. I'm sure you do understand. Because there's a lot in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Like there's a lot of loyal people in the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. And that'll be pretty much like Iraq altogether. And again, the whole basis of this war is to have weapons of mass destruction. Where did I hear that before in Iraq? and they have cruise missiles and etc. But they haven't showed any evidence of this. Like the United States says, "Oh yeah, they did," but it's the same as the George W. Bush and Tony Blair. You weapons of mass destruction, etc. But they never. There was no weapons of mass destruction or anything found in Iraq, and there was a lot of lies. Don't the same with this regime because they don't know. Like Donald Trump, they're saying first of all, "Oh, we obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons a few months ago." But now they have new nuclear weapon again, and then they say, "Oh no, it's not even the nuclear weapons; it's cruise missiles and intercontinental ballistic missiles." Um, you get what I'm saying? So I don't think they know what they want, but we all know that what it's all for Israel, pretty much. It's not for the United States. It's all to defend Israel and what Israel wants. That's pretty much what's the goal here. A lot of Iranians, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a few weeks ago, they should have done it. Because something like 30,000 probably Iranians were killed in them protests, and the United States kind of just sat back and done nothing. So it doesn't make sense why they're doing it now. That makes sense. They probably had the basis to do it now, and not to mention Donald Trump didn't look for Congress. Like obviously, for a president to declare war on a country, you have to go to Congress and get their approval to go to war, and they didn't. And they didn't. Donald Trump didn't, so he's clearly breaking the U.S. Constitution because he didn't ask the same when he went into Venezuela. But there's a lot different this than Venezuela, because in fairness, it was 2 hours and they were done. This is a long, sustained conflict. But he didn't go to Congress. He should have went to Congress to at least ask for congressional approval to do this. But he didn't. He overruled Congress, which is he can be impeached for that. To be totally honest. Yeah, but this is the thing. They had to go boots on the ground. The United States and the United Kingdom had to go boots on the ground, even though their basis was totally, we're making up stuff. Let's put it that way. But you get what I'm saying. They didn't do it by airstrikes. Like what's happened at the moment, they're just doing it by airstrikes and drones, etc., missiles. But you can't do that unless you have boots on the ground, and that is obviously more casualties, etc. But yeah. Yeah, they all like the bypass Congress. Like he did, like the president. They even during the First World War, if you look back to when Woodrow Wilson was president, he had to go to Congress to ask to declare war on Germany and Austria-Hungary. Congress voted on it when the Lusitania and stuff was sank. And then even the Second World War, when Pearl Harbor happened, the United States just didn't instantly just declare war. They had to go to Congress to allow the United States to go to war with the Empire of Japan at the time, even though Pearl Harbor was attacked. And overwhelmingly, Congress was like, "Yeah, we're going to war with Japan," because you have to go to the U.S. Congress. Like that's what they say. It's like the president doesn't have the authority to wage war. Now it'd be different if Iran declared war on the United States, because basically they have to defend themselves. But Donald Trump just decided, let's go in and just bomb them. And not even that, too. As you know, at the moment, Geneva in Switzerland, they were having talks, they were having negotiations. Now, I don't know, would they just playing for time Iran, or what was the story? Would everybody just kind of hoodwinking each other, if that makes sense? So I don't know, was Iran being serious in the beginning, or was the United States being serious in terms of this? But yeah, this pretty much where it depends how long this is. It depends if Iran's going to go for broke, or if the United States is going to go for broke. It's hard to know what they're going to do at the moment. But going by Donald Trump, I'm just going by what he said, because that's all we have to go by. That they want total regime change, and he pretty much said it. Like it's hard to know, but yeah, it's Persians. Yeah, they used to be called the Persia, and then there's now Iran. But yeah, wouldn't probably will. But I think the Epstein files have done a lot more damage than this. To be generally honest, it's like I do think the Epstein files have done a lot more damage. Like that's what Donald Trump's going to remember for the Epstein files, because and again, this is pretty much all distraction for the Epstein files too, because it says to people, look over here, because there's very uncomfortable stuff being talked about by Donald Trump, and stuff that's in the Epstein files. So this is kind of the distraction for the American public. Look over here, that's pretty much what is happening too, and to try and get the American support back on for Donald Trump, etc. Oh yeah, we're winning the war and stuff. Because this is very uncomfortable stuff to do with people that were related to Donald Trump, even some of his own cabinet and his cabinet, what they were doing on Jeffrey Epstein's island, and some other American politicians too, and Donald Trump himself too. He has a lot to answer for in terms of the Epstein files and the covering up of a lot of stuff too, because they definitely have more Epstein files, but they won't release it. So this is basically just an excuse to try and we're moving on for Epstein, as they say. As the White House press secretary said, Caroline Levitt, we're moving on from Epstein. That's what it is, pretty much. The common denominator, yes. But I presume that Benjamin Netanyahu said to him, if you don't go to war with Iran, we're going to release some documents related to Jeffrey Epstein and stuff. I presume that's why, because there's no doubt about it that Jeffrey Epstein worked for a foreign intelligence agency. There's no doubt about it, because there's no way the United States would defend any other country like they are with Israel, etc., etc. There's no doubt about it. We don't have proof of it, but pretty much, he had to be working for some intelligence agency. There's no way that Jeffrey Epstein got all that money by himself. That's what I think. And that there was traps, because he recorded. You have to remember, Jeffrey Epstein recorded everything. Like, if you look at his emails and everything, he recorded literally everything. Like I say, there's tons of videos of stuff of high-ranking people with underage girls and stuff in his island. Like they say, there's a ton of that. They just don't what they shouldn't release, obviously, if it shows what they're doing with underage girls, etc. But there's definitely proof to probably prosecute people. Because Jeffrey Epstein recorded everything. Like, this is the thing. It'd be different if, like, he was an ordinary pedophile on the street. Usually they don't record everything. But he recorded literally everything as blackmail, pretty much, for politicians and stuff. Like, there's definitely no doubt about that. And the only country I can think that would benefit is Israel from that. But we don't have proof of that. But that's going on the presumption. That's probably the only reason why it has never been released. All the details. But there's definitely it sticks to high heavens anyway, because they can't, because beforehand they were saying before the election, we'll release all the Epstein files, and now all of a sudden, there's no Epstein files. They were on my desk waiting for the be reviewed. Pan Bondi, Scam Bondi. They were on my desk waiting to be reviewed, and then apparently they didn't exist after that. So I don't know, but didn't exist, and then there's 3 million Epstein files released, and they didn't exist. But yeah, he tried everything possible. He's done everything possible to stop him, but there's probably a lot more to be released. Like, there's definitely more, because they did find 1 million documents just lying about, so they definitely lost a few million here. And now the FBI is saying in New York that some hacker hacked their website, like, database, and erased a few bits of data belonging to the Jeffrey Epstein file. Like, let's be fair, the FBI, it's like, it spends billions. Like, I'm talking about billions on security itself for its files, and definitely they have backed it up and triple backed it up and double backed it up. There's no way they just have one copy of something. They have it triple backed up. But it's what's in them files they want people to see. It didn't work, but because everybody could see that what Donald Trump was up to. And even his own party too. And I suppose only for Thomas Mulvey and Marjorie Taylor Greene, only for them, I suppose, standing up, they probably wouldn't have got past. It's because they kind of made Donald Trump look so bad if he didn't do it. But it doesn't look good for Donald Trump, because he shouldn't, because they say the most transparent administration ever. But they had to be dragged kicking and screaming to release the files. And still at that, there's nobody arrested. You think they would go after people, because they have enough evidence to go after people in relation to some people, but they won't. They refuse to do it. And that's what we know of. Also, I did ask Sean to come on yesterday. I don't think he see my email, but I don't think he did. Waiting to see, as soon as I'm nearly finished, he probably say, "Oh yeah, you were meant to come on." He did. I don't think he's seen it, because I didn't get a reply to it, but I did email yesterday about it. Like, just to say, while there's no music and stuff, usually there's music. I'm just looking at things that's popping up on Twitter here, like live updates and stuff, what's happening. So that's the only reason why there's no music, so I can just know what's happening if something's going on. Yeah, like, that's what the Iranian foreign minister said, that it's Israel, first and America last, pretty much. Like, let's be honest, it is. Because that's pretty much what it is. Like, it's no benefit to any United States citizen. Whatever about Venezuela, it is kind of in America's backyard. It is there, like, it's not that far away from the United States, the continental United States. But I don't think they can justify Iran. Iran's very far away from the United States. Maybe the United States of Israel, but hello, Moonhunters, how are we doing? Yeah, we have a milkshake on the go. So, United States of Israel. Hate speech. Just looking, sorry, I'm just looking at live updates and stuff. Yeah, it's just a total mess. And if we forgot, like the amount of like, there's a lot of Irish citizens, of course, across the Middle East. Not so much in Iran, but across the Middle East too, in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. That they're getting a bit caught up in it. Because as I said earlier on, the firing rockets at the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Oman, Yemen, and well, not so much Yemen maybe, but Saudi Arabia, and I think even Jordan, isn't it? Yeah, like US bases that are there. So we see how that goes. But again, unfortunately, innocent people might get caught up in the crossfire. But a lot of people knew this was coming. But I generally think that they didn't plan to do it today. I think, for some reason they decided to do the rush it. I think it was planned next week because it seemed like it was a rush at the last minute to do it. So I don't know what happened. Something probably changed that made them, do this. Also, Lindsey Graham is having a meltdown. We're not having a meltdown. He's upset that that people are not all for war. He's very upset that people don't want to just be in an endless war with every country in the world. Of course, Israel has documents on him, definitely. There's no doubt about it. Lindsey Graham has definitely been compromised by Israel. There's no doubt. The man is just a demon in a way. He just celebrates war. He celebrates people being killed. He seems like a lovely fellow. But I don't see him at the front lines. It's funny that I don't see him fighting on the front lines. Like he's just celebrating it here. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here and saying Iran is an almighty and nice regime and stuff. It's not. It's committed atrocities against its own people, not against anybody else, but its own people. It's killed 30,000 people just for protesting and stuff. So don't get me wrong. They're not the nicest regime to meet. Sean, what time did we call on this? I literally sent you an email yesterday. You probably didn't get it. You probably only see it now about coming on tonight. But Joe, look it. It's too late now, I suppose. That's probably. Yeah. That couldn't be right. Couldn't be. Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I was only joking with you. There's no worry. Don't worry. We can do it another night. It's like probably with this thing with Iran, we wouldn't have got around to it. But no, I understand. Yeah, there's no need. I was only joking when I said that. So. We can do it another night. There's plenty of time. Where am I here? Sorry, there's that much going on these days. But yeah. Yeah, I hope everything's going well, Sean. Hopefully. Meant to say too. Let me see. But I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end in Iran. It's hard to know, to be genuinely honest at the moment. We won't know until we hear anything else. Anything good happening around the world? Not so much. I don't think so. Um, Nothing I can think of that would be classified as good. Unfortunately, there's never really anything good, unfortunately, happening around the world, as far as I know. Maybe there is somewhere, but in the majority of cases, just somebody's been killed and this is happening, or somebody's dead, and this tsunami happened, or this happened, and then the other thing happened. Usually, it's never good news. Like the majority, like literally just looking at my Twitter feed and stuff like that, it's not great stuff. Let's put it that way. Not great at all. What the hell in the name of God? Like it's just not great at all. Yeah, like just around like just looking at everything here, it's just not great. Nothing positive at all, unfortunately. I would love to tell you something positive, Ben, but there's literally nothing positive to be said, unfortunately. Totally looking at people being murdered and stuff like that. Well, not people being murdered, but I don't know what's wrong with these American scientists, like people that are scientists. Like they're just, I don't know. I don't know what to make of them. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Sean. I know hospital food is not the greatest. It's good that you're looking out for. Well done for looking out for. Um, it seems to be, yeah. Sadly, it does seem to be, Ben. Not even that, just the world itself. I think it's just fucking insanity. Like to be genuine, like it's all about money and power, pretty much. That's what it is. Unfortunately, that's just pretty much what's happening in a lot of cases. Um, but I'm a milkshake on it tonight. But the United Kingdom wasn't involved, or France or any of the other countries. It was just the United States and Israel. The United States of Israel, sorry. Yeah, but even like just looking at them on Twitter, like there's some of them on Twitter, but the vast majority of Americans are like, who the fuck asked for a war with Iraq? Because literally yesterday, I seen it. It was a poll done like, across the United States by thousands of people, and it found out that 54% of the people in the United States can't pay their rent. What I mean by that is they're struggling to pay their rent, and the majority of them are young people, young Americans, and they can't pay the rent. And they have no hope of ever owning a house, but they can't even pay the rent. They can't pay the electricity bill. And the United States is more worried about, let's go and defend Israel. You probably should be more worried about, maybe looking after a few Americans before, especially because your whole agenda is America first. Um, you know, um, oh, well, in fairness, a lot of people in the hospital, like, even when I was there in hospital that time, a good few years ago, it is tough job being a nurse and stuff. Because again, there was a good few wards where there was a good few patients and stuff, and there was only maybe about 4 or 5 nurses for about maybe 50 people. You know what I'm saying? It's quite difficult. Um, you get what I'm saying? It is quite difficult. So I do feel for the nurses because it is a hard job. You're seeing people dying and stuff, and it's not great. Um, Hello, what am I saying? Little England, I was going to say. Yeah, you're apparently now Little England there and only. But yeah, no, he's just a Finnish fella. I think he can speak English, but I think he puts it into Google Translate and stuff like that, and it comes out kind of all over the place. So I don't think he means that. I think he just puts it into Google Translate, and that's I think how it happens. I don't think he means to come off like ignorant and stuff like that. I don't think he means to do it. Not that I know, because I do think he said to me once before, that he can speak some English, but not great English, if that makes sense. So he probably just use Google Translate, and that the translation probably fucks up a bit, you know. If that makes sense. So I wouldn't take any offense. And same to you, Fiona. I wouldn't take any of the offense from him. I don't know him personally. I never met him and stuff like that, but you get what I'm saying. I know him from YouTube and stuff. So I presume he's not being like ignorant and stuff like that. I don't think he is being that. I think it's just because it's a bit of a language difference. The person of the United States speaking.
And this morning,
Just let it. Just listen.
Thank him and bless him for this close collaboration. It has truly.
Yeah, well, this is the thing about just phone free to get. So just to shut up the person in the United States for a second. A lot of older people are dying off, like Fianna Gael and Fianna Fáil's voters, and they're losing support every year. They're losing more and more support because there's not people willing to vote for them. Like my father voted for Fianna Fáil, so I'm going to vote for Fianna Fáil. That generation's gone, unfortunately, and it's going very quickly. Going randomly tagging on my channel. Oh, is he on your channel? Is he gone to your channel? I didn't notice that. I didn't know that either. He could just be being nosy and see what you're up to. But I think it's just Google Translate. So I don't think he means to take any, come across as ignorant and stuff.
Of that war for our revival. We said we would change the Middle East. We did it.
Yeah, of course, there'll be bad English and stuff in the hospitals and stuff. But even at that too, it's a tough enough job being a nurse and stuff. But I hope your mother gets out as quick as possible. Hospital. But no, just I'm saying about my time when I was in hospital. Yeah, it's a tough job being a nurse. It's not easy. Like there's only 5 use for 50 people and stuff, and it's when you rush around the place, you're stuck. You run across your feet.
And continue talking about the extermination.
Yeah, I seen that, but I don't know what he meant by that. I think he misunderstood my whole point. I don't think I don't know what he was trying to say there, but I think he misunderstood my point because my point, what you were trying to say too, I think he misunderstood the whole of it. I think he thought I was saying that you were famous or something like that. I think that's what he thought or misunderstood what I was trying to say to him. No, but I was saying to him, and you were pointing out too, if this can happen to Sanna Marin, it can happen to any woman, if that makes sense. If the person literally can try and break into her apartment and stalk the woman, and she's the former Finnish prime minister, and the fellow that does this gets off, and that's a whole other story. Only for this Iran thing happened, we would be here just talking about that for the next 70 years. Don't worry about this. Next Wednesday, it's going to be just endless talk about that, because I'm not happy with that. I think everybody can get that. I think everybody understands that I'm not pleased with that result. That went to the Finnish courts. It's something like Judge Nolan would do. A fully suspended sentence. But yeah, he just go out and do it again, unfortunately. But so I don't know what he was trying to say there, but I presume maybe he's trying to say something like I don't know what he meant by bogled and stuff like that. I'm very confused. I don't know if he was trying to say something else. I'm not sure because I think he was using Google Translate, so I don't know what he was trying to say exactly. And I don't think he understood what I was trying to say to him about what your point was. That makes sense. You've probably seen it in the voice notes. I don't know if you've seen the voice notes, but I was trying to explain to him, oh yeah, this is what we're trying to, because I think he's seen it in a different way. You get what I'm saying?
Into those traps of depression. On the contrary, you stood fall and you gave back.
Oh, was he on your channel? I didn't see that, obviously. But I don't know. I don't think he's he's a troll. I think he's just saying. I don't know. Again, it depends on what exactly he was saying, like what exactly the post was, I suppose.
The demands and all the instructions of the Home Front Command. There's tremendous symbolism that today is pouring.
But on what post, just so I can just be nosy? I probably should look at my phone. Yeah, that would be the best solution to look at my phone. I'm listening to the United States of Israel. So. Just because the actual person in the United States is speaking.
For many times, I always visited there and looked at that monument, and I always saw you, our people, us, the entire nation of Israel, and with the help of God, that roar of the lion of our soldiers and our pilots will be heard.
Where am I? Sorry, I'm trying to find my way. I've lost my way. I've lost my way. I'm trying to find where I am, but I can't remember. Oh, that's unfinished, is it?
Well, there we are.
There's the President of the United States of Israel finished. Sorry, the President of the United States. Give me a second. Just trying to see. But of course, we have disagreements. I don't know if Aaron Only's still here, but of course, we have disagreements with him on different things. Like, take for example, the San Marin stalker. Like, I don't know what he suggests that we do with him. Like, I suggest that we should have definitely set him to prison for a while. Whatever but a 4 months to spend, like, pretty much he gets off with it, basically what I'm trying to say. I would have set him to prison for a few months and then deported him because he's not a Finnish citizen. But I don't know. I think I don't know what was he saying that we should let him off altogether, which they pretty much did. Like, they let him off totally with everything. He only has to pay €2,000 compensation to the other woman that he was stalking and sexually abused. You know. Well, what are you saying about Leitrim East Sligo? I'm only seeing this now. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see. Oh, my legs are gone. What was this on anyway? Like, I'm just seeing this now. Countries with the most OS for online commons. Oh, yeah, of course, the United Kingdom. Of course. I don't know what he means by coming from an Irish nationalist and stuff. I don't know what he means by the post. Because you were talking about the United Kingdom, so I don't know what he means. I presume maybe he got mixed up with something. I'm not sure, but I don't know that they mean to be offended, but like it'll be offensive or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just no, I was just seeing it literally as you were telling me there. I was just seeing it. I just wanted to go through this because I didn't know what post he was talking about. But yeah, no, I presume he was probably talking about something else. So I don't know, because I don't think he can speak like the greatest English. I presume because he did say to me one time in the comments that he was using Google Translate, so maybe something got mixed up there. So I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. But I don't think he means to be offensive, just to say. To be totally honest with you. But at the end of the day, he has his freedom of speech, even if I don't, we might not agree with what he says, he still has his right to supposed to say it anyway, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Presumably, just wanted to see what you were up to on your channel or something. I'm not sure. Again, I don't, I don't know him personally. I don't know him from when I was over in Finland. If that makes any sense. Like there's often one or two people that I know from Finland that you'll probably come across maybe now and again, in my comments and stuff. But yeah, but I don't know him personally. If that makes any sense. But I presume that he's, what am I trying to say? That he doesn't mean to be vet. So maybe it's just the way, because again, they have a different way of speaking English than you and me here in Ireland. Like we say different ways of phrase and stuff, etc. But I don't think he means to be like awkward. Well, not awkward, but being ignorant and stuff. Hello, Gordon. Good evening. How are you doing? Are you happy with the United States of Israel? Your taxes are going to the United States of Israel. Gordon. But yeah, the option is there just to say Taran only if you want to come on. Because obviously, as I say, Sean is a bit busy these days. But if you wish to come on, you can come on like literally this Wednesday coming if you want for a while. And the option's there if you want to come on. Or even Gordon too, if Gordon wants to come on for an hour. So I don't know how that would work time-wise, but we could try and work it out. If you want, it's up to you. Because I've literally offered this about 6 or 7 times and nobody's taken me up yet. It's a disgrace. And I wouldn't mind. I often, when I was younger, said, "Oh yeah, someday we will allow people to come on and have a talk for discussion for a while." And then as soon as I offer, nobody takes me up on it. Theo Stammer, 10 Downing Street. Oh no, we'll go and see Lowy the cat. I tell you, people care more about Lowy the cat than they do about Keir Starmer. If something happened to Lowy the cat, you know, a milkshake indeed, yeah. I was in the town and on the way back, I got a milkshake. Little treat. Um, hopefully Israel has not poisoned it. Hopefully not yet. Give me a second. Just make sure I have everything. Because I was going to talk about other stuff tonight. This morning, I woke up because somebody was ringing me about what was happening in the van. Because literally, the one morning I lie on, literally, I was going to get up early, but I said, "Oh fuck it, I lie on." So about 9 o'clock, my phone started ringing to tell me about this, what's happening in the van. But only for that, I would have lay on for a good while this morning. So I'm up early, and I wouldn't mind. The one morning I have to lie on and stuff, and you get woken up by this. Enjoy, yeah. No, I like vanilla milkshakes. I always have my vanilla and stuff. I had two. I actually always usually get two. There's not so much protests at the moment. There's no, as far as I know, maybe there is somewhere on the land, but not at the moment. I don't think. I don't think that we have protesting yet. Because the reason why, because there's literally bombs falling, so they're hardly going to protest when somebody could just drop a big bomb on them, you know. So I don't think at the moment. I think there's protests in Iraq. I think you're getting mixed up with the protests in Iraq. There's protests in Baghdad. There's protests there. But yeah, it's a wet miserable evening too. Oh. So in other news too, we're making our way through the video with the picture on the wall. Like we're getting there. It's going to take another billion years, but it is nearly an hour long. So basically, I've cut a good few bits out of it, but it's basically nearly an hour long so far. Excuse me, apologies. Excuse me. I have a few hospital appointments next week. I'm in no mood for that. I don't think any of us ever in mood for hospital appointments and stuff, but I hope they go well. I hope you'd be done with them as quick as possible. I don't think none of us ever in the mood for hospital appointments, but I hope everything goes well. Fiona, excuse me, apologies. I hope it does go well, and hopefully you'll be out in and out quick enough. I don't think any of us ever, I'm never in the mood to go near the doctors or anything like that. I think all of us hate going into the doctors, going into the hospital. Everybody hates it. But it's unfortunately something that has to be done, unfortunately. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's going to be hard to know what's going to happen. No, there's just a border conflict. That's what's happening. Yeah, there's overland. It's over some bits of land that they're fighting with. It's the same with China and India. Over in the Himalayas and stuff, they're fighting over land. It's like a border clash. It's not like a war. It's just a border clash over a bit of land. Like no man's land, if that makes sense. No country owns it. Each country claims it as theirs. So that's what's happening, basically. It's just about territory. That's pretty much it. Pakistan took a few outposts belonging to the Taliban. But But yeah, it's hard to describe. But yeah, that's pretty much it summarized. Like I suppose easily. Just make sure there's no posts or anything I need to look at. Yeah, but I don't think it'd be feasible. To be done around, so I don't think it would be feasible because Afghanistan to put them to where the Taliban is not like a known government and stuff. If that makes any sense, it'd pretty much be impossible to do because the Taliban wouldn't take them back. I don't think so. It would be impossible to do for Pakistan. Like it's not like an only government. The Taliban is just kind of whatever goes, pretty much. It's a strange world. The minister will get it sorted. Ho ho. I saw your post about the little girl having to go to America to get surgery. Thought it was disgraceful. Oh yeah, there's many unfortunately. Like but she was on the list. Like she was on the list for the Irish state to get her treatment here. And she was on it for 4 years. And guess what? They found out that she wasn't even. She was taken off the list about 2 years beforehand. So she basically was waiting for 2 extra years, and she wasn't even on the list for the appointment. And this happened to poor Harvey, that died. He died of scoliosis. His back basically, he basically was crushed because his back just went like a really bad level. And basically, he was crushed. Harvey, poor Harvey. And poor, like Simon Howard said, no child would wait less than 6 months for an operation with scoliosis. That never happened. Unfortunately, there's so many children probably dead because of that too. So hopefully, poor Roxy, yeah, that's her name, is over to the United States as quick as possible. Her GoFundMe, she raised a huge amount of money. GoFundMe, as she should, but the Irish state should be paying for it. Because it is the Irish state's fault that he wasn't looked after because it's been left for too long. And hopefully she gets it quick enough because every second counts. Yeah, like she would unfortunately probably be dead if she would have to wait any longer. So that's the sad thing. But the sad thing is too that the state won't pay anything towards it. The state refuses to give any money towards it. You think the state would pay something towards it, or even use the government jet, like the Aircore jet, to get over to the United States? But they haven't even offered that. Like they haven't even offered to send the Aircore. You think they would send the Army Aircore jet to bring her over to the United States to save the cost? But they wouldn't even do that. So, so the government don't care. Yeah, I think they did. I think they reached nearly 200,000 at the time. Like I give it wasn't much I give towards it was only a very small amount. Um, but a lot of people did give a lot, and it's good to see. Um, so hopefully it makes a difference. That's what I hope. But I presume she get the way. I don't know. I say she has enough money to go because a lot of people donate. A huge amount of people donated from everywhere. Yeah, like she can't go to school and stuff like that. Because obviously she can't sit. She basically took years for her to be able to sit down in the chair. So she couldn't go to school. Um, but yeah, I presume she reached the target. Um, because people donated. There was an awful lot of money people donated, but it was for a good cause, so it's good to see. But it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened to happen in the first place. She should have been looked after here. Um, Yeah, of course, every bit helps. Yeah. But as long as she gets it, that's the main thing. Um, but she shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to go through all this hassle to get there. That's not trying to say. So hopefully, I presume maybe she's probably even over there at the moment. I'm not sure. I haven't heard much in the last week or two about it. Yeah, like the majority of the TDs are landlords. Like even the ones that probably, there's so many of them probably haven't disclosed their own properties. But a lot of them are like 35 that we know of are landlords that own multiple properties too. And that's what we know of. Because some of them don't disclose it. Yeah, like look at the Healy Ways, like a huge portfolio. Like them alone they probably have the most. In fairness, they probably do. Yeah, they get a huge amount of money from the state to the Healy Ways, particularly for housing refugees. Or so-called refugees, people that just turn up. Let's call it that way. But yeah, we'll see what happens in Iran. It's hard to know. I would love to be able to tell you what's going to happen because there's no sign of anything being stopped or any negotiations or anything. So it might continue for another few days. We should see, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a lot more to unpack, definitely, 100%. Just have to wait and see, I suppose. That's the only thing we can do. So yeah, we're just chilling for the moment. We're just probably going to stay for another 10 minutes, and that'll be good enough for tonight. I pretty much we were planning to do other stuff tonight, but obviously that went out the window with what happened in Iran. Like yesterday, I planned to talk about a few other things, but that's basically gone out the window for tonight. Jeez, don't go around saying people like nutters and stuff like that. But yeah, no, he is a Santa fan. Yeah, like that's how I came across him because he was posting about Santa Mountain. So he is a Santa supporter. Yeah. But yeah. He probably annoys you talking about. No, he doesn't annoy me, Tom. No, no, not really. No. Got notification again. Ho ho, Greenface. How are we keeping? We're back in business. Got notification. Leave the poor lady. No, excuse me. I'm not stalking him. Well, unfortunate thing about the court case and stuff. If people were going to stalk it before, if people weren't going to stalk it before, they're definitely going to do it now. Like people who are over there, people that wish to do a harm, even in a way too, because pretty much the judge let them off it. In sadness, in fairness, like it would have been better if the person that did this would have been given a good few years in prison. It would have created the deterrence, but unfortunately, it's hard to know, but we'll see. But hopefully not. Hopefully Sandra won't be left alone and won't be annoyed. Yeah, YouTube is awful. Yeah, you got notification. Did you get a notification tonight, Gordon? Um, which comment? Sorry. Oh, you bet you getting the notification. Is that what you're talking about, green face? Because that's the only one I see here. Um, got the notification again this evening. I don't know. Did just yeah, we seen that one. Yeah, we addressed it. I don't know if there was another one in between that. Was there? Because YouTube sometimes can censor it themselves. Because I don't even think there's any moderators here that said so. Anyway, whatever you said anyway. I don't think you said anything bad anyway, but because I don't. There was moderator here earlier on, but he's not here now. So above that one, I see literally not another one. What was it, green face? Do you know? Because I only see the got notification again this evening, but I didn't see anything else. You can see you saying about the invisible one, but I don't see anything else after that. So YouTube must have said no, you're not allowed. No fun allowed. Weeks. Yeah, it happens to me sometimes. Notification. Yeah, notifications are fucked. It's unfortunate, but what can you do? But usually it's around 6:30 or so Irish time. Usually. Sometimes it could be a bit early, sometimes it could be a bit later, but usually around that. And you know kind of roughly what days we'd be live. Roughly. Unless something does happen. I think I know the joke already, but go on. You can still see it. It must be only in your end because does anybody else see it? Because it could be just maybe my end. But what was it? Like, what was exactly what it was? Because I literally don't even see it here. I'm looking up the thing now just to see. No, the only thing I see is when you say I got a notification. After that, I see nothing else. So it must be just YouTube censorship. But what did you say? You could try and post it again if you can. Because I don't know why it would be doing that. Yeah, nobody sees it, so it's not just me. Don't know why. Yeah, I don't see. Let's say go to live chat maybe. Top, no, it wouldn't be top chat. Oh no, we're not going there, Gordon. Jeez, don't go there. No, I still don't see it. I'm in top chat now, and I don't see it even. Wonder why that is. Don't know why YouTube would block it. Yeah, but what was it about? If you can try and post it again. Oh, yeah, no, because it wasn't us on our end. No, I'm on live chat, but I did go to top chat then. It still wasn't there. They just showed me the same things. So I don't know, because it still didn't show it. So that's what I'm saying. So it must be on YouTube's end. Is there any moderators here at the moment? Because highly doubt they blocked it. The moderators, they, because at the time I wasn't even paying attention. To be totally honest, I was too busy yapping at someone. Oh, David's here. Yeah, you didn't hit anything off. Oh, pitch the possible banter, but what was it exactly to say? If you can say, you don't have to, but I don't think there's no witty band, Thomas here. There's not really anything witty band. But unless it's the N word or something that's the only thing that's witty. Like we do have a filter for that. Still don't think it would be. No, it shouldn't be. No, I don't know why. No, it shouldn't be. No, no, I don't think. What? No, I don't think. Unless it was the end. The only thing I can think is the end. How to using the N word. But no, that's the only thing that's kind of like we do. There's a filter on YouTube we can block, like certain comments, but I don't think it was that now. No, I don't think because you used to doing it here. Like that's what I'm saying. But yeah, like yeah, I don't know. Like, Jesus, World War Three, like yeah, you're posting it there. Like that's not banned. No, why would that be banned? Like the only thing that's banned is the N word and a few other like really offensive stuff, like really offensive words. Um, so that was it. Yeah, basically. I don't know why that was banned. And it wasn't banned by us. Like there is a moderator here, but he didn't do anything. So I don't know. Did you say after this? Was you probably said something about the United States of Israel? That's probably what it was. What did you say about the Benjamin Netanyahu? You know, you're not allowed to commit talk crime. What are you saying about United States of Israel? That's probably what it was. It was because you mentioned the United States of Israel. You're not allowed to talk about Israel. Yeah, we didn't do anything. Yeah, and it still is today. Like you're still not really allowed to. Like I'm restricted to what I can say about it too, still to this day, because YouTube just doesn't want you talking about them things. But no, we didn't remove it, no, because like Davey, unless Davey hit it by mistake, but I don't think so. He would have told me. Like he did by mistake one time, Davey. He did ban Fiona one time. He just happened to click the wrong thing, and he banned her by mistake. But it was we sorted it out, but it was only misclick, and that was pretty much it. But it was on like a mistake. It was done. It can happen, but we definitely didn't do it because Davey would have told me if he'd done it. And at the time, I was too busy fucking yapping about something. But yeah, I don't know why. If it's just World War Three, it shouldn't. Unless YouTube just thought it was something else, maybe the YouTube like not the filter itself, but then because there's YouTube bots and stuff like that, like YouTube algorithm and stuff. Um, you know. But anyway, I think that's all she wrote for tonight. I think we'll leave it there for tonight. How does that sound? Oh no, we couldn't. We don't know that. That's how to say it. But anyway, thank you everyone. I appreciate you being here tonight. Again, it was all pretty much about Iran. So we wait and see what happens. Who knows what's going to happen, but we wait and see. But anyway, I appreciate everybody being here. Yeah, Gordon, go ahead. I think we all know the answer to this one, but okay. Yeah, go on. That's great. Thank you, Gordon. So yeah, thank you, Greenfist. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Aaron Only. If Sean's still here too. And of course, if Ben's still here too, but I presume Ben's probably have left us for tonight. So yeah, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back hopefully Wednesday. We talk a bit more about other stuff. Hopefully this Iran thing will sort itself out. Hopefully, please God. But we wait and see. So we hope for the best. But anyway, thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night and your rest of your weekend. And we see you then. Good night.